Have you ever said yes when you really wanted to say no, just to keep the peace? As we grow older, it's easy to put others first, whether it's family, friends, or even societal expectations. But here's the truth, after 65, your well-being, happiness, and freedom matter more than ever. You've spent decades caring for others, now it's time to care for yourself without guilt. In this stage of life, some things should never be sacrificed, not for love, not for duty, not even for keeping the peace. Your health, your peace of mind, your hard-earned savings, these aren't just assets, they're your lifelines. Yet too many seniors quietly give them away, only to regret it later. Maybe you felt the pressure to babysit when you're exhausted, to lend money when it strains your budget, or to stay silent when someone disrespects you. But what if protecting these things isn't selfish, but necessary? Let's talk about the 6 non-negotiables every person over 65 should guard fiercely. Because you deserve to live these years with joy, dignity, and the freedom to choose what's best for you. Ready to reclaim what's yours? Let's begin. Number 1. Protecting your health after 65. Why putting yourself first isn't selfish, it's survival. Let me tell you a story about Harold. At 78, he was the kind of grandpa everyone adored, always ready to babysit his great-grandkids twice a week. The laughter, the little hands tugging at his sleeves, it brought him so much joy. But over time, something changed. His back started aching more. He'd wake up exhausted, yet he'd push through, telling himself, "They need me. I can't let them down." Then one day, while lifting his youngest great-grandchild, his knees buckled. It wasn't a bad fall, but it was a wake-up call. Lying there for a moment, Harold realized something painful. He'd been ignoring his body's whispers until it finally screamed. The hard truth, your health comes first. Here's the thing, when you're over 65, your body isn't as forgiving as it used to be. That ache in your knees? The fatigue that lingers? Those aren't just annoyances. They're messages. And if you keep ignoring them for the sake of others, you might end up like Harold, learning the hard way that you can't pour from an empty cup. You might be thinking, but if I say no, won't they think I'm selfish? Let me ask you this, is it selfish to want to stay healthy enough to enjoy your grandkids' graduations? To travel, to garden, to wake up without pain? Of course not. Small shifts, big changes. Harold didn't stop seeing his family, he just started setting limits. Now, he babysits only when he's well rested. He schedules his doctor's appointments without guilt. And you know what? His family didn't love him any less. In fact, they respected him more because he taught them an invaluable lesson: love shouldn't cost you your health. What this means for you. 1. Listen to your body. That afternoon nap? The extra 10 minutes of stretching? Not luxuries of necessities. 2. Say no when you need to. You don't owe anyone an explanation. "I'm not up for it today" is a complete sentence. 3. Make your health appointments non-negotiable. Skipping that checkup to drive someone to the mall? Not worth the risk. The bottom line. Harold's story isn't just about a fall, it's about freedom. The freedom to enjoy your later years without pain, regret, or resentment. Because here's the truth, you can't take care of others if you don't first take care of yourself. So today, ask yourself, what's one small way I can put my health first? Maybe it's turning down an extra chore. Maybe it's finally booking that physical you've put off. Whatever it is, do it unapologetically. Your future self will thank you. Number 2. The art of saying no, how Evelyn learned to protect her energy without guilt. Let me introduce you to Evelyn. At 74, she was everyone's go-to person, the kind of woman who'd drop everything to drive a friend to the grocery store, lend an ear for hours, or host family members at a moment's notice. Her phone rang constantly, and she always answered. "That's just who I am," she'd say with a tired smile. But one rainy Tuesday, something shifted. Evelyn found herself sitting in her favorite armchair, staring at her ringing phone. It was her neighbor, likely needing another favor. For the first time in decades, she let it go to voicemail. And then something amazing happened. Nothing. The world didn't end. Her neighbor figured it out. And Evelyn? She finally finished that novel she'd been trying to read for months. The turning point. Evelyn's story isn't unique. Many of us spend our lives believing that being good means being always available. But here's what Evelyn discovered: constantly saying yes to others often means saying no to yourself. After that rainy day, Evelyn started making small changes. She turned her phone off during morning coffee, her sacred quiet time. She began saying, "Let me check my calendar," instead of automatic yes. She gave herself permission to decline invitations that drained her. The surprising result? People actually respected her more. They began valuing her time because she showed them it was valuable. Why boundaries matter after 65. 1. Your time is finite. Every yes to something unimportant is a no to something that truly matters to you. 2. Energy isn't endless. Unlike in your 40s, you can't just push through exhaustion anymore. 3. You've earned the right to choose. After decades of responsibilities, you deserve to decide how you spend your days. Practical ways to set gentle boundaries. The polite decline: "I wish I could help, but that doesn't work for me this time." The pause: "Let me think about it and get back to you." This avoids knee-jerk yes. The compromise: "I can't do X, but I could do Y." Example: "I can't babysit all day, but I can take the kids for 2 hours." The ripple effect. Here's the beautiful part. When Evelyn started setting boundaries, she noticed something remarkable. She became more present during the times she did choose to help. Instead of feeling resentful and drained, she found herself actually enjoying helping others again. Your invitation. Today, think of one small boundary you could set. Maybe it's not answering calls during dinner. Limiting visits from that relative who always overstays. Saying no to organizing yet another family event. Remember what Evelyn learned: boundaries aren't walls, they're the gates that let you welcome in what truly matters. The people who matter will understand. And those who don't, well, that tells you something important too. So take a deep breath. That request you've been dreading? Try saying, "I'm sorry, but that won't be possible this time." Then notice how the world keeps turning and how much lighter you feel. Thank you for watching until now. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss the next episodes. Now, let's move on to the next part. Number 3. Finding your quiet place: how Roger discovered the gift of peace. Let me tell you about Roger. At 81, he'd always been the glue holding his family together, the one everyone called when siblings argued, when old grudges resurfaced, or when holiday gatherings threatened to turn into battlefields. For decades, he'd jump into every family conflict, trying to smooth things over. "Someone has to keep the peace," he'd tell himself as he made yet another exhausting phone call to mediate. Then one Sunday afternoon, as Roger sat recovering from another family drama session, his grandson asked him a simple question: "Grandpa, why do you always look so tired after talking to Aunt Linda?" That innocent observation hit Roger like a lightning bolt. He realized something profound. In his quest to keep peace for others, he'd been sacrificing his own. The day everything changed. Roger made a quiet decision that changed his golden years. He stopped being the family referee. The next time his phone rang with familiar drama, he simply said, "I love you all, but this isn't my problem to solve." At first, there was pushback. "But you've always helped us work things out," they protested. But Roger held firm. And something miraculous happened. The family eventually figured things out themselves, and Roger? He rediscovered the joy of quiet mornings with his newspaper and the deep satisfaction of watching birds at his feeder without a knot of stress in his stomach. Why protecting your peace matters more than ever. After 65, your nervous system deserves retirement too. Here's what Roger learned. 1. Not every fire needs your water. Family conflicts will happen with or without your involvement. 2. Stress ages you faster. Cortisol literally accelerates aging at a cellular level. 3. Your calm is contagious. By staying peaceful, you model better behavior for younger generations. Practical ways to protect your peace. The gentle bow out. I'm not going to get in the middle of this, but I love you both. The news diet. Limit exposure to stressful media. Roger stopped watching the 24-hour news cycle. The joy filter. Ask yourself before any commitment, will this add to my peace or take away from it? The ripple effect of Roger's choice. Here's the beautiful truth Roger discovered. When he stopped absorbing family stress, his blood pressure improved. His sleep deepened. And most surprisingly, his relationships with family members actually got better because they were no longer associating him with conflict resolution. Your peace prescription. Today, consider. What's one recurring drama you can step back from? What activity makes your soul feel light that you've been neglecting? Where can you create a no-stress allowed zone in your daily routine? Remember Roger's wisdom, you don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. Your peace of mind isn't just a luxury, it's the foundation that lets you enjoy these precious years. The next time your phone rings with trouble, ask yourself, is this worth my tranquility? Then channel your inner Roger, take a deep breath, and choose your peace. After all these years, you've earned it. Number 4. The gift of financial peace, how Marilyn learned to protect her future. Let me share Marilyn's story with you, one I think many of us will recognize. At 76, Marilyn had always been the family's safety net. When her daughter needed help with rent, when her grandson wanted to start a business, when her nephew had medical bills, Marilyn's retirement savings were always there to help. What's money for if not to help family, she'd say as she wrote yet another check. Then one morning, Marilyn got a wake-up call, literally. She woke up at 3 a.m. with her heart pounding, suddenly realizing her comfortable retirement fund wasn't so comfortable anymore. The numbers didn't add up like they used to. That's when this generous grandmother made one of the toughest and wisest decisions of her life. The moment everything changed. Marilyn called what she termed a family financial summit. With love but firmness, she explained, I need to make my savings last my lifetime, which means I can't keep solving every financial emergency. There were hurt feelings at first. But Marilyn held her ground, offering emotional support instead of checks. Here's the miracle that happened next. Her family members became more resourceful. Her daughter found a better paying job. Her grandson launched his business more carefully with smaller capital. And Marilyn? She slept through the night again, her financial anxiety replaced with peace. Why your money matters more than ever. After decades of hard work, your savings represent more than dollars, they're your 1. Freedom Fund, ensuring you can handle unexpected health needs. 2. Dignity Account, allowing you to maintain independence. 3. Peace of Mind Reserve, protecting you from becoming a burden on others. How to set financial boundaries with love. Marilyn developed some kind but firm approaches. The I'll think about it pause, never make financial decisions on the spot. The gift of wisdom, offering financial advice instead of cash. Have you looked into payment plans? The clear limit, I can spare $X this time, an amount that doesn't jeopardize your security. The beautiful side effects. What Marilyn discovered might surprise you. Her relationships improved when money wasn't part of the equation. She rediscovered the joy of giving small, meaningful gifts instead of large checks. Her family actually seemed to respect her more when she set boundaries. Your financial wellness check. Today, consider. Have you reviewed your retirement accounts recently? Is there someone you keep helping who could help themselves? What's one small financial boundary you could set this week? Remember Marilyn's lesson, true love doesn't mean putting your future at risk. You worked hard for your financial security, not just for yourself, but so you wouldn't become a burden to those you love. The next time a request comes, take a deep breath and ask, is this help or a handout? Your future self will thank you for the honest answer. After all, the greatest gift you can give your family is a secure, worry-free you. Number 5. Standing tall, how Thomas taught his neighbor and himself about respect. Let me tell you about Thomas, an 84-year-old retired teacher who still tended his rose garden with the same care he once gave his students. Every Saturday, like clockwork, he'd be out there pruning and planting while his neighbor, Mr. Henderson, would lean over the fence with his usual jokes. "Still playing in the dirt at your age, Tom? Don't you think it's time to act your age? Shouldn't you be in a rocking chair by now?" Thomas would always force a chuckle and keep working, but each comment stung a little more than the last. Until one spring morning, something in him decided, enough. The moment Thomas found his voice. That Saturday, when Mr. Henderson called out, "What's an old-timer like you doing planting new roses? You might not be around to see them bloom." Thomas took a deep breath, wiped his hands on his overalls, and walked calmly to the fence. "Jim," he said quietly but firmly, "I take pride in my garden and my independence. Your comments about my age aren't funny, they're disrespectful. I'd appreciate it if you'd keep them to yourself." The silence that followed was so thick you could hear a bee buzzing nearby. Mr. Henderson turned red, muttered an apology, and hurried inside. Why speaking up matters more than ever. Thomas taught me something important that day. 1. Respect has no expiration date. Your worth isn't diminished by wrinkles or gray hair. 2. Silence often encourages disrespect. When we don't set boundaries, people assume we're okay with their behavior. 3. Your example teaches others. That day, Thomas's granddaughter was visiting. She learned more about self-respect in that moment than any lecture could teach. How to respond to disrespect with grace. Here are some approaches Thomas later shared with me. The direct approach. That comment about my age hurt my feelings. Simple and powerful. The question method. Would you say that to someone younger? Makes them reflect. The humor defense. Actually, at my age, I've earned the right to do what I please. Disarms with laughter. The ripple effect of respect. What happened after Thomas spoke up? Mr. Henderson started greeting him with genuine compliments about his garden. Other neighbors began treating Thomas with more consideration. Most importantly, Thomas stood a little taller in his own estimation. Your dignity challenge. Today, consider. Is there someone in your life who regularly diminishes you with jokes? What's one small way you could assert your worth today? How might setting this boundary improve your self-respect? Remember Thomas's lesson, growing older doesn't mean growing smaller. Your life experience, your wisdom, your very presence deserves respect. The next time someone makes you feel less than, picture Thomas in his garden. Straighten your spine, look them in the eye, and kindly but firmly remind them and yourself of your worth. After all these years, you've more than earned it. Number 6. Writing your own golden years, how Joanne found freedom by the sea. Let me tell you about Joanne, a 79-year-old former librarian who spent decades quietly dreaming of ocean views while living in the same snowy Midwestern town where she raised her children. Every winter, as she shoveled her driveway yet again, she'd sigh and murmur, "One day." That one day almost didn't come. Her grown children insisted, "Mom, you've always lived here, and who will drive you to doctor's appointments?" Even her bridge club warned, "At your age, isn't it safer to stay put?" Then one February morning, watching yet another snowstorm from her window, Joanne had an epiphany. If not now, when? The leap that changed everything. With trembling hands but a steady heart, Joanne sold her two-big house, packed just what she loved most, bought a cozy cottage near Cape Cod. The family reaction? Predictable panic. "You're too old for big changes," they cried. But Joanne simply smiled and said, "I'm exactly the right age to finally live my dream." Why your choices matter more than ever. Joanne's story teaches us. 1. Too old is a myth. Age just means you've earned the right to choose. 2. Fear often wears disguise. What looks like concern from others is sometimes just their discomfort with change. 3. Happiness is contagious. Within a year, Joanne's daughter started visiting and eventually bought her own beach place nearby. Breaking free from should. Joanne developed some wise approaches. The "my decision" statement, "I've thought this through, and it's what I want." The trial run, she rented for 3 months before committing, disarming critics. The joy report, she sent sunset photos instead of engaging in debates. The ripple effects of courage. What Joanne gained. Sunrise walks on the beach instead of snow shoveling. New friends who knew her as Joanne the painter, not grandma. The profound satisfaction of honoring her younger self's dreams. Your freedom challenge. Today, ask yourself, what's one someday dream you could make real this year? Whose expectations are you still carrying? What small step could you take this week toward your authentic life? Remember Joanne's wisdom, the perfect time to live your life is now. Not when the kids are ready, not when everything is perfectly arranged, now. Your golden years are exactly that, yours. Whether it's moving abroad, downsizing, taking up tango, or finally painting your kitchen purple, this is your time to write your own story. After all, who better to author it than you? Final message, your turn to shine. So, dear friend, which of these 6 truths spoke to your heart the most? Was it Harold learning to put his health first? Evelyn discovering the power of no? Or perhaps Joanne, who proved it's never too late to chase your dreams? Here's the beautiful truth, your needs aren't just important, they're the foundation of a life well lived. You've spent decades giving to others, now it's your time to receive joy, peace, and the freedom to live on your own terms. But don't just take my word for it, I'd love to hear your story. Drop a comment below. Which of these 6 boundaries do you need to protect most? What's one small change you'll make this week? And if this resonated with you, why keep it to yourself? Hit subscribe so you never miss stories of courage and wisdom, and share this with a friend who needs this gentle nudge too. Because life after 65? It's not about slowing down, it's about stepping into your power. So tell me, what will you start saying yes to, for yourself? Thank you so much for watching until the end. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss the next episode. If you found this video helpful, please like and comment below. It really motivates me to create more valuable content for you.